Day 79. Today I had another long and impactful day. Had the run club 7 a.m. It was awesome. It's one of those mornings where I was tired, and by the end of the run and the meditation and the coffee, I felt so alive. And even though I'm running slower and slower because I started lifting, it felt great. And then these calls, they are so impactful. It's I got the chance also to speak to my friend's mother, who did not sign up for a call through Twitter, but she's a life coach and has been for the past, I want to say 8 years, 7 years, something like that. And I felt such an immediate resonance with her as I do with her son, so it would make sense. Her son's a good friend of mine, and I felt so connected to her. It was one of those conversations where I felt like it could go on for a long, long time, as well as many of these conversations I have, these 20-minute conversations with people from Twitter. So often people are willing to share depth, the depth of who they are, because they feel a pre-existing connection to me in some way. And I'm so grateful to receive it. I mean, I've heard stories about breakups, about loss, about insecurities, you name it, over the past 2 days. And to get the opportunity to hold space for people in this way as they transform, as they move through their emotions, and just to be witnessed as they really are. To me, it's such a blessing. And it's why I'm here on this planet. And so I feel such a high from being able to see somebody in a state that they rarely are sometimes even willing to show themselves, and ask them questions to prompt them to look at the truth of their situation in a new way. What a blessing it is to be able to do that for a career, and to be able to do that whenever the opportunity presents itself. I can't think of anything more important to do with my time than to grow in love myself so that I can help other people grow in love too. It is the single most important thing that I can think to do. And I just feel really blessed to be able to do that. There's also in me just a lot of sadness tonight. I went out to dinner alone, and I really felt, wow, the loss of the relationship that I was in. I just felt so, I felt lonely for the first time in a while. I felt alone. I spend a decent amount of time alone where I'm not talking to people, talking to friends, and I'm very comfortable by myself. And what happened was there was a couple sitting down next to me at this restaurant, and I just loved how they were interacting, and it was so sweet, and it was full of so much joy and love for each other. And it really just took me back, and in that moment hit something in me so deep of, oh wow, that was beautiful to experience myself. And I really sat with the loneliness of that, and the sadness of not having a person in my life anymore that is so, I feel so connected to. And I was talking about this with someone who had done one of the calls, and we were talking about how he was putting on a front of some sort, and it's so normal to put on the front, to want to be further along on your journey than you actually are. And if it's not real, it blocks the connection to the person you're speaking to, because some part of them can feel the inauthenticity of you not being willing to recognize something that is true, that they could potentially see in you that you can't see in yourself, or that you can see in yourself and you're ignoring. And so, a culture that wants you to be happy all the time, that is trying to sell you things so that you can be happy, is and wants you to put on an image that you are happy all the time, it's not actually, is blocking connection in some way. Because whenever you are lying, you're making it more difficult to connect. And that is why I fight so hard to look at myself. I didn't actually know that until this moment. But that's why I fight so hard to look at myself, because I know so often I can only connect with another person to the extent that I've connected with myself. And so all the work that I'm doing to connect with myself at the deepest level is helping me connect with you. I mean, if you just look at the analogy from the most basic form, who are you more willing to open up to? A Buddhist monk or somebody who's partying? And maybe if you were also partying, you'd be more likely to open up to the person who's partying. Maybe if you felt a greater resonance with that person. Maybe if you felt like the Buddhist monk would be judging you, you wouldn't be opening up to that person. But if you knew the Buddhist monk was not judging you in any way, and you wanted to get the most wisdom about the situation that you were in, my guess is you would go to the Buddhist monk. And the reason for that is because the Buddhist monk, or whatever monk, is in the deepest connection with his own or her own authenticity, with their own realness. Whereas the person who's partying, in my own case, would be suppressing something, and the result of that suppression is the partying. So, we're all aware of this at a subconscious level. And I was talking to somebody about depth in friendships and creating depth in their friendships. And the greatest way to create depth in your friendship is to go deep on yourself. The greatest way to go to create depth in your friendships is to really understand who you are at the core, what makes you tick, the situations in your past that you're uncomfortable with, and really sit with them, understand the places that make you insecure. You do that, you will inevitably have deeper friendships, connections. That's what we're seeking. We're seeking depth. We're seeking connection. We're seeking love. Love is to be connected to another. And how do we do that? We show the truth of who we are, which sometimes can be ugly, and which sometimes we don't want to be seen as, and which sometimes we are really uncomfortable by the ways we've showed up. And I get it. I fully get it. And the deeper you can go on your insecurity, the more deeply you can connect with someone else. And sometimes you might need somebody to prompt those questions, to ask, to get you to open up, to make you feel safe. It is okay for you to go deep. It is okay for you to really sit with the truth of who you are and how you've showed up. One thing that I'm noticing a common theme, I've done now 20 of these calls, around 20, is people's struggles in letting go. People's struggles in taking themselves off the hook for something that went wrong, or someone that did them wrong, or some way they did something wrong. I think I might be creating a product of some sort to help that scenario, to help somebody move past a breakup, to move past a friendship that ended in the wrong way, to move past a mistake that they made. Because there are processes that I do that can help you. And if you do it in a systematized way, over 30 days, you can release. You can grow from that, and you can become a different person. So, just an idea I'm playing around with. And just feel really grateful to do the work I do. Feel very humbled. And I'm excited to keep doing it. Have a full day of calls tomorrow. Let's see how many we got tomorrow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Got 8 or 9 calls tomorrow. This is what I'm here to do. So I'm going to keep doing it. And I love you very much. And I hope you show someone the truth of who you are. Most importantly, yourself, so that you can make space to show other people the truth of who they are. Sending you a lot of love. Have a great day or night. Be well. Peace.